everybody, I'm Laura Trump coming to you from Palm Beach, Florida. One of the things that distinguishes the Democrats most these days is their focus on dividing people, one group of Americans against the other to serve their political needs. They use economic class, race, and so many other means of the politics of division to advance their agenda. What they don't realize is that Donald Trump doesn't look at our country that way. Through his policies and principles, President Trump makes it clear that he wants all citizens to achieve the American dream. From inner city kids to rural seniors to military families, this president wants all boats in the harbor to rise again. Joining me to reflect on the president's commitment to success for all Americans is a senior advisor to the Trump 2020 campaign and my good friend, Katrina Pearson. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Laura, thanks for having me today.
Well, you know, we always love hearing from you, and these Democrats are getting a little crazy. Do you agree that Democrats are so wedded to the politics of division that they lose sight of the principles that are common to all Americans?
Well, you know, I think you put it lightly. This isn't just losing sight of principles. We have to ask ourselves, what principles do Democrats even stand for? If you even go back to the inception of the Democrat Party, they have been resistant to every type of freedom, whether it's with women's suffrage, with civil rights, whether it's, you know, Jim Crow and even life for that matter. The Democrats have always been against liberty, and now the resistance is to economic freedom. And this is something that is very important to President Trump, and we saw it on the last campaign. He really wants to level the playing field so that average Americans can once again dream of prosperity and have the ability to get a leg up in life.
Yeah, and it seems like the Democrats are so committed to resisting any success by the president that they're outdoing each other with how far to the left they're going. I mean, what do you think about this, Katrina? How is this going to work out for them come the midterm elections when they are so far left?
Well, it's pretty clear that they have not received the memo, that the American people just aren't buying it. People don't want to be divided. People want to be together. Even if you just look at the protests against the American flag of all things, the one thing that unites all Americans are the stars and stripes. And it's truly unfortunate that they have taken up this mantle of even being against that. That is the symbol of freedom and togetherness for the United States. We see it now with some states like California, who are literally choosing non-Americans to get behind.
It's actually, it's so crazy. You couldn't even make it up if you wanted to. It doesn't even make sense. I can't believe that this is America sometimes when you hear things like this. But you're exactly right. And to go against the couple of things that always keep us together as Americans, it's really sad. But I think it's going to backfire on them. I can't see how this is going to work out for them come the midterms when people say, well, why would I want to get on board with something like that? This sounds crazy. Even people that didn't vote for the president, how are they going to vote for this stuff? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, they can. And you know, I laugh because I have to laugh in order to keep from crying. When you wake up and you look around and you have to sit here and wonder, what is going on when you have lawmakers who are pushing policies that hurt their own constituencies, that hurt Americans, that make it unsafe to thrive in their own communities. If these are people who are elected time and time again. So I do think that there are new voters out there who are waiting to hear the president's message without that filter of the media, which is why I'm excited that the president's going to be going all over the country in the midterms so that people can understand what he is really trying to do for them, simply because decades of failed leaderships in many of these communities have gone pretty much unchallenged. And the message that the president has with economic prosperity, freedom for all, economic freedom, and a chance to get out of poverty, whether it's through education or job opportunity, this is something the president's going to be able to communicate all across the country. And I'm really hoping that more and more Americans can see through all of the vitriol and the hatred and really this managed chaos coming from the media and the Democrats. Because at the end of the day, Laura, people really just want their children to be successful. They want to be happy, and they want to just take care of their families.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And that's what the president is doing for this country. Now, last week we had that spending bill. Last week the Democrats were crowing about the $1.3 trillion budget that Congress passed, and the president vowed to never again sign such a reckless bill. What do you think? Doesn't this prove the challenge that the president has to drain the swamp, that it's still there, that they're still holding on with everything they have?
Oh man, the struggle is real. We all knew that draining the swamp was not going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't going to be in one swoop. And this is something that is very real. And many Trump supporters see just how difficult it's going to be and why it's so important to elect more Trump-supporting individuals into the House and especially into the Senate.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it really shouldn't be this difficult to even get some of the Republicans on board with what the president's trying to do. So this was really an eye-opener. This does show the president really took it to task and brought both parties to the table to get something done, mainly for our military. As he said in his own words, it's for national security purposes, and with everything that's going on, people understand that. Moving forward, he has vowed to not do that again. So it's incumbent upon us as Americans, as mothers, as fathers, as children, to elect people who are going to get the job done in November.
Yeah, and I keep saying it. It is so important that people get out and vote in these midterms. It's as important as voting the president into office to get people in Congress that are going to support him, because this is a perfect example as to what's going to happen if people don't come out and we don't have people that are supporting President Trump going forward. Things are going to be very difficult for him over the next couple of years. And listen, we want to make sure that while he's in office, he's getting things accomplished for this country like we know he can. So I always say it's as important to get out in 2018 as it was in 2016. Another way the president has showed his uncommon leadership was his bold move to offer 1.8 million DACA recipients a waiver, which was not super popular with conservatives. Yet the Democrats continue to reject it. It doesn't make sense. What is it saying about their commitment to all these illegal aliens? What's going on here?
Well, I think this goes to your earlier point, specifically about the politics of division. The president really called the Democrats bluff when it came to DACA. They really wanted this issue to be a bargaining chip, that they can't really thrive unless there is a subclass of people out there that they can label as a victim and then try to be the savior. And what he's effectively done by bringing that to the table is called them on their bluff on it. Now everyone knows the Democrats don't care about DACA recipients. They
Never
don't
did
care
they?
about illegal immigrants. They just don't care in general. All they want is power. That is all they've ever wanted. And it goes to show you just how far the president was willing to go, not only to prove that, but to show all Americans that he really is leading on the issue of fixing all the problems that previous administrations have left for him.
Yeah, and I also call him our negotiator in chief for a reason, and this is a great example of that. Now, Roseanne had quite a show this week. I noticed you were tweeting about her show this week. Her character, Roseanne Barr, is from a working class family, supports the president, which is so crazy in today's world on TV. Are we finally taking a break from these identity politics in Hollywood? What did you think about the show? Is this a better reality check for everybody? Is this a reflection of the real world out there?
Oh, absolutely. I think people in general are taking a break. We're in this bubble of politics and news media where there is this anti-Trump sentiment. But as we've seen in the election, the people out there support the president and what he's trying to do because he understands the problems of average Americans. And, growing up, I watched Roseanne. And if you grew up in a poor or middle class family, you knew a Roseanne if one wasn't in your home already. And that's why she resonated so much with so many people. And I think the show coming back now goes to show you not just that people want to see a reflection of them, highlighting the realities of life, that living to paycheck, possibly almost losing your home because of expenses and things like that, where your children have to get a job in order to help maintain the household. These are real things that Americans have to deal with. But it's also a show to Hollywood that going back to the way things were, hard work, integrity, and family, is where America wants to be.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. And I give a lot of credit to Roseanne for having the guts to come out with a show like this, because I'm sure she got a lot of pushback on this. And I think even the president called her to say, listen, great job. She got like record ratings or something from her show. So
18 million.
Yeah.
I mean, that was amazing. Congratulations to her,
Yeah.
the president, for calling her, because it does take courage in that area to come out. But I think the best part, Laura, was that it highlighted typical politics in the family. You had some that supported Trump and some that didn't. And you know what? It's okay.
It's okay. We're all Americans at the end of the day. We're all in this together. It's actually the perfect point and the perfect note to end on. We can all get along, even if we don't agree on every single thing.
Absolutely.
Katrina, as always, thank you. You are such a great voice to counter those crazy Democrats and their political agenda.
Thank you, Laura. So great to see you. You're doing a great job. And MAGA 2020.
Yes, ma'am. You got it. And thank you for joining me, too. While the Democrats continue to pursue the politics of division, President Trump will continue to fight them and the rest of the swamp to help all Americans achieve more. That's the real news for today. I'm Laura Trump, coming to you from Palm Beach, Florida. Goodbye, everybody.